I show up to go to your lunch thing, your luncheon, and I had dried my hair, sort of. Like I put a towel on my hair and quickly, and then I just went down to the lobby. And I'm standing with 2 or 3 of your friends, who are also my friends. And the one guy just goes, dude, I wasn't going to say anything, but you are soaking wet. He's like, you weren't even going to dry your hair. Like you weren't even going to try. And then your other friends started defending me. They're like, well, dude, you really didn't try that hard not to say it, apparently, because you said it immediately. Welcome back to Oops, the podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me,
Yeah.
which of course you were.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Oops, the podcast. I am Giulio Gallarotti.
Yes,
If
you
want to
are.
be fucking really annoying about
Oh, spicy.
it. Gallarotti would suffice, and that's how I say it. I'm joined by Francis Ellis, the man himself. What's
Here
up,
I
dude?
am, pal. Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm well. I like that Kith sweatshirt.
Thanks, man. It's a nice little
Little
material.
waffly.
If you want to hear something fun,
Waffly.
Hillary and I share it.
Huh.
We both wear it.
Is that right?
We have shared items. This is one of them. We also have a couple pairs of sunglasses, which we share.
Wow. That's very cost effective.
It's also fun.
Now, do you ever get into tiffs over, say, she wanted to wear that today and you did too?
We've had discussions. We've never gotten into a tiff. One will immediately sort of defer. I'll be like, "Oh, I was gonna wear that today." Oh yeah, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay, so you both are, you pretty much do defer to the other.
yeah, because chances are I was just like pulling it off the rack,
Uh-huh.
and so it's funny. I'm starting to like realize I have this like reputation of sort of just kind of being disheveled. I'm not like disheveled, but I'm like, I kind of just like play it as it lies. I just let my hair dry. However, I sort of wear whatever. I wouldn't call myself dirty at all. I bathe a lot. I bathe regularly.
That's exactly what a dirty guy would say.
I have a skincare regimen. I'm not smelly. I'm not like, but it's funny. I'll hear, and there's a good example from your wedding. And maybe I'm just in my own head about this because I've never thought about this before, but I show up to go to your lunch thing, your luncheon, which was sort of like a late breakfast.
Yeah.
And I had dried my hair, sort of. Like I put a towel on my hair and quickly, and then I just went down to the lobby. And I'm standing with 2 or 3 of your friends, who are also my friends. And the one guy just goes, dude, I wasn't going to say anything, but you are soaking wet. He's like, you weren't even going to dry your hair. Like you weren't even going to try. And then your other friends started defending me. They're like, well, dude, you really didn't try that hard not to say it, apparently, because you said it immediately.
Because he just said it.
I'm like, dude, I'm not that wet. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. And then I saw him in the airport then too. And like, for some reason I was just like, I had like an extra bag to like put, I don't even know why, but it was like a plastic bag. And I was like, oh God, I'm like, here I am again, just like living up to my reputation, just like looking like a homeless person in the airport. Dude, yeah, it was like insane timing. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to get that in there. I have one other thing about your wedding that I have to
Please,
share.
come on.
So when the boat thing happened, where I wore the wrong thing,
You say
I didn't
that.
wear the wrong thing. I didn't wear the exact right
I
thing.
don't know that there was a right thing. I wouldn't have allowed there to be a right thing.
If it were an assignment, I would have gotten a C+. Maybe a C.
I think
Maybe a B
everyone
minus.
wore their own individual flair, and I am so grateful for it. We are not a couple that expects people to just exist in a box of our own folding.
Fine, but I want to play by the rules because it's fun and festive. And I was a minor oversight. Anyway,
Yeah.
I then realized that my wardrobe didn't fully match the groomsman description, and I began to panic
Oh.
because it was blue suit, white shirt, and I was like, oh, great. And one of the emails said brown shoes, but the other didn't.
Yeah.
And I might have missed or something. So now I was like, oh, God, I don't have brown shoes.
Oh boy.
I hope no one notices. And then I was like, okay, but since I'm giving like the speech at the wedding, is this me like putting the captain C on my varsity jacket by wearing the blue suit, by wearing the blue shoes? Am I just like slightly differentiating myself because I have like a special task? And then nobody gave me shit, so I just wanted to.
So what color shoes did you have
I
on?
had blue suede shoes.
Wow, I didn't even notice.
Good.
And it's another Shawshank Redemption moment.
Yeah.
How often do you look at a man's shoes?
Right.
The fact that he walked out of the warden's office wearing his perfectly shined spiff shoes.
I know.
Pretty daring.
Yeah, dude, that's good. Another Shawshank.
Yeah.
A lot of Shawshank.
But you realize that you never look at a man's shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And yet we put so much stock into the shoes we wear.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing. One more thing.
Please.
Dude, I got my haircut for your wedding special, and I didn't realize it, but they gave me a fucking mullet. I showed up to I go to this like Japanese place, which I'm not going to go to anymore.
Japanica?
No, it's a Japanese haircut place. And they give me a mullet every time. And every time I don't realize. And they're like, you want to do scissor cut? And I'm like, yeah, but like the back we can like, and I guess we can like, doesn't necessarily translate
We
that
can
well.
I don't
do
know
this.
what
I do
I
the
would.
hand motion.
That doesn't really translate in English
I know.
either.
So they don't use a buzzer at all. And then I end up with a full fucking mullet, dude. Hillary had to cut my hair in the bathroom, and she kept stabbing my neck and laughing. And I'm like, and dude, she finally stabbed my neck to the point where I actually let out a burst of rage, greater than any burst of rage that I've ever let out in my entire life.
Wow.
And she didn't even acknowledge it. And later I did, and she goes, "I would like to forget that."
Oh my goodness.
Dude, my arms went up and I bashed them on the countertop.
Oh my god!
And not at her, but just out of the
course.
fucking frustration of continuing to be stabbed by these little scissors.
Yeah.
And I went, "Brr!"
Yeah,
like-
you King Kong'd it.
And I was like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "Wow, that's like the biggest temper tantrum outburst I've ever thrown in my life."
In your whole
In my
life?
whole life, I don't have a temper really. I'm not a guy with a temper.
Well, good for you.
That's all. That's it. Those are my. Those are my little confessions. I had to get those things off my chest.
I got a haircut a week before the wedding, which I thought was going to be the right move, and it wasn't.
Why you didn't think it grew?
I
well?
needed 2 weeks.
Dude, since you've been back, you have this like glow to you.
This hair right now and my touch of sun from Mozambique, I'm peaking. And unfortunately I was peaking
Mozambique.
for my appearance on Fox News.
Oh my god, dude.
That's what I was
What a
peaking
crush.
for.
What a crush. Dude, by the way, I saw you on that, and then I saw you like on a Barstool clip. I forget what show you were on. And your hair was like you were doing a little thing with it where it was like a little like, okay, like,
Yeah. Ooh,
you know, like,
danger.
ooh, you looked like the guy at the
Ooh.
haircut store. You know, they
Yeah.
have the picture of the guy with the
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, for a second, I was like, damn. I was like, do I even know that guy anymore, dude? I was like, who the fuck is that guy? I was like, I hope he's the same guy,
His
dude.
hair is must.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. Household.
Okay, so
No.
dude, we have to talk about Fox News.
Okay, let's
you can't
talk
just
about
bring
Fox
that up
News.
and not talk about it.
Okay.
And we need to talk about your honeymoon. We have a lot we need to talk about.
Yeah, it's okay. We
Let's-
got plenty of podcast episodes to do.
Your Fox News appearance was so funny. Dude, I watched it last night. Like I took a break. I was at the like stand anniversary party and I took a lap to get a Red Bull because I had a 2 a.m. spot. And I watched the video and it was just like the culmination of like your brand of humor. Like it was perfect.
On display.
It's perfect that it was Fox News
Yeah.
because it allowed you to sort of like tap into the satirical angle. And you got all your Francis gags in there where you're like towing the line of reality. You like kind of can't tell, dude. It was a masterpiece.
Oh, thank
and you looked
dude.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very very exciting. You never know when as in our careers, it's funny because you've had big moments, and after them, a lot of the time, I have to be the one to stop you and be like, that was big.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you need to be proud of it and celebrate it. But I have the same thing where I've had big moments and sort of you blow by them and you think, well, this wasn't that big of a deal, or I still haven't gotten across the finish line yet. But I've had, I would say, 2 moments weirdly in the last couple of years specifically that made me think oh, I need to celebrate that. One was when Ellen DeGeneres called me.
Oh, dude, that was so sick.
Yeah.
That was so. Can you quickly give the
Have
if
we
we have
talked
new
about that
if
ever?
we have new listeners?
have.
Can we give them a quick rundown about that?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres.
crazy, bro.
when I was writing at Bro Bible, all that stuff was coming out about her and how she wasn't as nice as everyone thought, and that her workplace wasn't a very nice place to work, and then it was the whole world just started piling on because when we start to get a scent of blood about someone we've revered for decades. Oh no, now we can take them down. They've had it too good for too long, and let's all pile on. That's just what we do. We tear down our idols, and everyone loves to throw rocks at the fallen hero. So Ellen, was getting it from all sides, and even there was this article about like in the New York Post about a bodyguard that she'd hired to look after her at the Oscars she was hosting, who came out and said she didn't even ask him his name and wouldn't make eye contact with him, and basically was complaining that she was this superior kind of celebrity.
Fucking boo, fucking who?
And I wrote this blog being like, I can't are we really at a point where our fucking bodyguards are complaining that the people who have hired them don't know their names? Like, what are we talking about? That's so pathetic. Like, this is why you got to hire your bodyguards from Israel. They don't ask. Their feelings aren't hurt if you're not looking them in the eye. Like, do your fucking job, guy. And I was like, oh, she's not as nice as people think. Like, what a surprise. Like, she's been playing a character. Wow. Fucking Jurassic Park wasn't real either. Can you believe it? Like, whatever. Somehow, Ellen's executive producer saw the blog, showed it to her. She liked it. He reached out to me, asked me for my number, and then the next morning I'm up in Maine. This is when we were quarantining.
This is like deep pandemic.
Deep
vibes.
first, probably
March.
April or May of
April,
2020. No end in sight, dark times. I get a call from an unlisted number, a block number. I pick it up, and it's Ellen DeGeneres.
Dude, that's so insane.
And we talked for half an hour, and it was incredible.
Unreal, bro.
Because she's just sort of in that caliber of. It's like to me, it's a little bit like getting a call from Oprah or somebody,
Totally.
Somebody who's just so prominent and has been so good for so long, and she's an amazing stand-up, and I don't know, she's an icon. Also, by the way, I told this story a couple of times when we were in Rwanda because she has a huge
interesting.
presence in the conservation of the gorillas over there.
Crazy.
And we actually drove by her conservancy. She's got this big center for research, and
Cool.
they've put, she's given like $12 million into the community to provide jobs for people that work in the conservation of the gorillas, and she's hugely involved in it. So she's big. Everyone knows her and adores her over there.
Interesting.
But anyway, that was one of the moments. And then another moment was weirdly going on Fox News.
Dude, can I say one thing too real quick about this? So it's sort of become this thing where like comedians will go on local news and sort of like troll their interview, which is like, it's important to toe the line between being disrespectful and being funny, which to be honest, I don't know that everybody does that well. Agreed. Typically. And I'm like, that was funny, but also that's like kind of rude. But
I agree.
Whatever. I understand they want to sell tickets and they want to be funny, whatever. So this to me is the ultimate, this is like the 12-inch dick of like comedian news interviews. I'm serious, because it's like national news too.
Yeah.
And like, it's something funny, and like, I thought you really handled it dude, you looked really good. Someone needs to hire you, bro.
You look beautiful.
I was like, wow, like Francis could end up being like a fucking late night, like whatever host or something.
Thank you.
You really look good. Dude, I guarantee if there were like active comments on that, the amount of people who'd be like, ooh, who's that? Bro, you look like a snack, dude.
I wore a suit. It's all stemmed, by the way, from the fact that Barstool posted my shoulder traffic stopping video again, and it went viral again. And a bunch of interesting people actually saw it, including the booker for Jesse Waters' Primetime on Fox News. They hit me up, said they love it. They want me to come in and talk about it.
Amazing.
which I was all too excited to do. But another person who hit me up and said they loved it, cousin Greg from Succession.
No way.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
That guy's the fucking man.
Yeah,
dude.
he DM'd me and he was like, he was like, dude, you're too fucking good. Your brain is awesome or something.
Oh man,
And then we went back and forth.
that's amazing.
And then, dude, oh my God, I don't know why I did this, but we were going back in such a familiar way. Like the conversation kept going that sure enough, on Saturday night, we were having people over for like a cookout. And
You
we
invite him over?
Dude, out of nowhere, I was just like, yo, dude, I don't know if you're in New York, but come to like, oh shit, I was about to say our address. Maybe bleep that. Anyway, I was like, come to and I gave him my address. Was like, we're having a cookout with very grounded, normal people. It'll be really fun. Felt the need to be like, there's not going to be any weird fans
paps
there.
here, dude. Yeah.
But meanwhile, I'm inviting a guy to dinner that I've never met
Yeah.
before. It's like, I'm the weird fan.
No, it's all right. He hit you up first, bro.
But then he hit me back. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry I missed this. Like, I'm in Norway right now. And I was
sick.
like, oh, cool.
That
We'll
tracks.
do it when you're back.
Yeah, dude, awesome.
It's like, why did I do that?
That's great. I like that you did that. I think we need to be doing things like that more often in life.
I
like,
agree.
The assumption that like someone's too cool for you or something, you're usually wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you should just go up there, fucking stick your chest out and hang with the big boys.
Yeah. I will say that I am of nowhere of any, I wouldn't say that I'm of any kind of celebrity caliber, but every once in a while, someone will be like, hit me up and be like, I don't know if I'm sure you wouldn't want to do this, but like we are doing this and it could be kind of fun. And I have started to take people up on that more and go to interesting things. And I've, on the road especially, like when I go play golf with a couple of fans or whatever, I've had some phenomenal experiences with some people.
Same. I love hanging with the fans, dude. And I think that, as long as listen, they're like, this must be weird, right? Like they feel weird sometimes. And it's like, no, like, first of all, that's a good instinct. But no, it's not weird. This is what this is.
Yeah.
Like, I feel, I'm like, this is what this is. Like, as long as you're okay with it, I'm certainly okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, we have this bizarre relationship, but it is a relationship that cannot be ignored. So as long as you're going to be a good person and, like, be a good time and, like, be nice, like, I'm down to hang.
By the way, this is exactly weird, eerily to me, the conversation that would be had between a guy and a girlfriend who have been friends for a very, very long time and then hook up for the first time. This is what this is. It's not weird. It's not weird for me. It's not weird. We've had this relationship for a long, long time. Like, I'm down to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Dude, complete right turn. Our pal Hannah Berner was saying some very nice things about you last night.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, she was saying how, and I thought this is worth sharing because I agree with her. She was saying how you being back here at Barstool, is like a direct product of how well and like classily you handled your entire situation through the whole thing. Like you easily could have like been spiteful or rude or like done things that just like wouldn't have sat well and like burned bridges here, and you did not do that.
Yeah.
And she was just like, wow. She's like, he just played the long game so well. Like,
I mean, I think it's I appreciate that, Hannah. I think it's easy to say that now. I don't know that, and we've talked about this a
it's
bunch.
just your general approach though. You weren't being calculated. You were just like,
yeah,
I was wrong. That was wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not mad at anybody about it.
Yeah. And you know something, dude? Our good friend Shane Gillis just had a really cool, very long piece come out about him in the New Yorker.
Wow.
Which is a huge profile about him, which spoke similarly, where when, he got his fall from SNL thing happened, and he would go on Rogan and everyone would kind of try to co-opt him into being this figure of cancel culture and, oh, look, all that. And he would go, stop. I don't want that. I'm not a victim. I said some wild shit. I'm going to keep saying wild shit. This is just who I am, and these are the consequences, and I'm going to live with it. And I really appreciate that approach. For me, the whole Barstool thing was always like, well, yeah, why make enemies? Why? It's so much easier to find work and be employable if you have not made unnecessary enemies. And beyond that, more importantly, I Barstool didn't do anything wrong when that happened. That was all me. So, why would I, if to have said anything negative about them would have come off to me as like petty and pathetic and whiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to just man up and fucking keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so here we are. Yeah, full circle. That's very nice of Hannah Berner. Fox News.
Fox News.
Shoulder video. They saw it, wanted me to come on the show. So, I'll say it. I'm not exactly a conservative. I'm not exactly a very political-minded person one way or the other. I know Fox News definitely has a pretty right-leaning slant. And so I was a little nervous going in there that I was going to be used as a...
Right. They were going to start getting you to say, let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, like a part of their narrative, Yeah, exactly. I was like, I hope they don't try to co-opt me into yes-anding some kind of political agenda.
Right.
And my defense, therefore, heading in there was to just say, like, I'm not going to be serious at all.
Yeah.
I'm going to be mock serious and it sort of inflate what I'm saying to such an absurd level that nobody could take it seriously.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny? Someone said to me, they're like, it's a really good thing that it's live. And I was like, it's live?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it's really good. I was like, no, that's not good.
No.
That's very, very, very bad.
It was scary.
I was like, that could be. She's like, no, I just mean they can't like edit it. I was like, that's a good point. But like, Francis is definitely okay, let's go over what I said kind of guy.
Yes.
As opposed
yeah, you know that about me.
as opposed to, I'm going to say it right the first time guy. So I was like, oh God, I hope he fucking. But dude, the icing on the cake for me in that interview was like when you snuck the Harvard joke in. That was the knockout punch, bro. That put me down. I was toast, dude. I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, the very first. So he didn't prep. I didn't get prepped at all. I mean, I put on a suit. They didn't tell me what to wear. I decided to wear a suit.
You didn't get styled?
No.
You looked as if you'd been styled.
It's funny. I walked in, and it's the Fox News building.
Yeah.
It's like right across from 30 Rock.
Crazy.
6th Avenue, soaring epicenter of media in America. The biggest, news network, most watched news network in America.
Is it?
I think so. Pretty confident that Fox is. And I go in and I'm thinking I'm going to get like ushered up to some lofty floor and there'll be hair and makeup and all this. And the guy at the front desk is like, oh, you're here going on the show? Okay. and then the producer came down, I say, and it was on the ground floor. So we just turned left and went through some big doors. And then all of a sudden we were like,
here you are.
There it is.
There you go, pal.
Damn.
So I'm waiting in this waiting room. The show's on. I can see it, and I'm watching it unfold. And I don't think that this is unfair to say, but it was a lot of stories about crime and anarchy and another shooting, another this. Here's a video of a hatchet attack that happened at like a McDonald's today, and sort of blaming the lack of law and order a little bit on the Democrats and all of this, and I'm thinking, oh God, I see exactly where this is going. They're going to end the show with this segment about me, who even in these dark, troubled times that are led by our incompetent leader, one hero stood up against the fray. And like somehow my traffic video is going to fit perfectly in with that narrative.
Is that what happened?
Well,
Kind of.
they brought me on and fortunately didn't do that at all.
Okay.
They let it sort of stand alone.
Got it.
They were playing up the funny side of it.
Yeah.
He was in on the joke.
He got it, yeah.
He totally got it. And then he had me on and gave me some questions that, again, I had no prep.
Some of them were a little challenging. I thought the
They were.
pregnant woman question was a challenging one.
But that was the very first one, and fortunately, I nailed that, I thought, out of the gate to set my tone, which was he was like, okay, let's say that you're doing this, you're stopping these cars in the shoulder, and there's a pregnant woman in labor behind you. What about that? And I go, well, I would say to those people, you had a pretty bad birth plan. Like if you're banking on, shoulder to be getting to the hospital or whatever, like you haven't thought about your pregnancy enough.
Also, the driver should just fucking get out and knock on your window, in which case you would make an exception and move.
I mean, if anyone started to even hint at getting out of the car, I would move back in. Yeah, or they were like, pregnant, yelled like, help. I'd be like, yeah, no problem. That's an emergency. Yeah. So anyway, it was really fun. It was nerve-wracking. It's hard to be funny fast and live.
Yeah.
With no rehearsal or
you
no
warmed
writing.
up with the goose thing. That was your warm-up.
What did I say?
Remember the goose story?
Yeah.
That was a good warm-up.
But that was long.
Yeah.
That was a longer interview
Yeah.
where you not every
Right,
word
you don't
I
have
had
to
said
murder
I
every
was
time,
trying to
yeah.
be funny.
Dude, you killed on Fox News.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
And I sent it to my parents.
Are you gonna post that on your stuff?
I just blogged it. I want to figure out how to post the whole clip on my Instagram and stuff like
you
that.
You can do that for sure.
Can I just rip it?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
They're okay with that? Fox News?
I mean, you went on.
You're
this
not like making
show.
money off it. Yeah, you can. I think.
Interesting. Yeah. So
Sick.
then I will do that. That's interesting. So it was really fun. And then I went to the stand, and dude, it's just been a fucking world. Sometimes when it just rains, it pours. You know what I mean?
I know. Dude, you love to see it. I try not to take for granted just like how dynamic my life has been these days, and hope I can keep the fun rolling. It's a good time.
Hell yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So that was Fox News. Can I tell you some stuff about the honeymoon?
Yeah. So So the day after your wedding is when you departed.
We left
that evening.
Yes.
Out of Boston.
No.
New York.
We flew from Portland to New York.
Got it.
To take the Qatar Airways.
Oh, we were
flight.
on your fucking flight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
That was fun.
A little wash in the flight count.
Yeah.
It's
Little
a wash. Washed it out.
We tried to get on an earlier flight
Uh-huh.
and we were unable to. So then we literally Ubered back to the city and then back to the airport again.
No way.
Which is crazy.
Damn.
Okay, so you flew from Portland to New York and then you were departing.
And then we had a 3 or 4 hour layover in JFK, but there was a really nice lounge that we were chilling in, which was great. And that was the first moment where we could just take a breath from the wedding. And we kind of realized, whoa, we're tired. And when we got on the flight, oh boy. Qatar Airways, Q Suite.
Wow.
Buddy boy.
Wow.
Treat.
Wow. Is it its own floor?
No, it's only a Boeing 777.
Got it.
So
It's in the front of the plane.
There's no first class. It's just the Q Suite's business class.
Yes.
And then coach behind that.
Got it.
So
first class is different than business class in that regard?
No.
It's the same thing.
There is no first class.
Got it.
Yeah. But, you get on the plane. They tell you to come this way. And there's 8 flight attendants assigned to the business class cabin.
Wow.
So you have your own personal, I'll be with you for the flight. My name's so-and-so. And hot towel with the tongs.
Wow.
Hot towels, by the way, big theme on the honeymoon. There were a lot of hot towels. A lot of hot towels. Let me tell you something. You come to expect a hot towel. It's hard not to be a little accustomed to the hot towel treatment. Here's my question. When you get a hot towel from some fancy establishment, little tray, rolled up, real nice, tongs, then they shake it open, hand it to you. How much of you are you washing with that hot towel?
Face, then hands.
You go face.
Face. I do a hard wipe down of the face, get refreshed, wash either hand off and place it
A
down.
lot of people just go hands.
Yeah.
I go a lot of my body.
Do you So you do face?
I did face, I did hands, and then I waited till she left, and I even did armpits.
No, you
And
didn't.
I certainly did. And
my
neck.
God, it's
We'd been
insane.
traveling. We've been traveling. That's my shower on the plane.
You guys packed pretty well for
We
that
did.
much traveling.
It was a battle.
So Sierra had hinted at the fact that she did sort of like the vacuum packing
Yeah.
technique,
Yeah.
which is all the rage these days.
cool bags that you roll shit up
Yeah,
in.
and then you fucking.
It's cool and it's nice, but I will say that because we went to 3 different places,
Yeah,
you unpack and then you have to repack that way
which is such a bitch.
3 times.
It's one of the worst. It sucks.
Yeah.
You
need a full hour to do it.
Did you accumulate things when you were over there?
Not
too?
really.
That's good.
We didn't because we knew we couldn't.
Yeah, I like packing burner items too for this reason because like it's nice to make it easier to pack going home.
Oh, throw stuff away
you've
over
left
there?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
what do you leave?
Like for toiletries, if you exhaust some of your travel size toiletries, that seems to make a dent. Maybe some clothing items, or if something gets ruined, or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like a pair of shoes that you're retiring.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave some burner shoes over there.
You did some damage on the country count, too.
Yes.
You did a nice. I think
Are you giving me Qatar?
no,
No,
you don't get guitar.
I wouldn't get
You have to
Qatar.
leave. But still, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's still nice though, dude, and it's important, guys. You gotta hit double-digit countries. It's really important for you in your life. You gotta hit 10 plus as a minimum.
I was way over 10 before
You're way
this
over.
trip.
Yeah, I'm saying in general though, like
Yeah.
it's reminding me that like you gotta do it.
Yeah, we got Kenya. We got Rwanda, obviously. We got South Africa
Oh yeah,
and Mozambique.
fucking South Africa too, you
'Cause-
dog.
Yeah, but we spent one night at an airport hotel in South Africa.
Yeah, but didn't you? It counts. It counts.
It does count.
It
You said
counts.
you leave. Yeah.
Counts.
We left.
You
We
leave the
walked
airport.
across the tarmac.
Oh, but you didn't leave the airport area at all?
No, you exit the airport doors and you walk across, and the airport hotel was across the street.
This would need to be escalated to the next court.
I don't think we get South Africa.
I wouldn't necessarily count it.
Except that we had insane experiences in the South Africa airport, which I want to get to,
Okay.
and which might give us because of how
Interesting.
weird and unique these experiences
Potentially open
were.
to it.
But okay, so Q Suite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So hot towel, pajamas,
I saw the picture. I was like, I love
pajamas.
it. Living his best life.
You go into the bathroom for the business class cabin was nice. It was bigger. It had like hand lotion, face lotion. It had different things. There was like wood paneling. It was very clean. Tissue box with an inviting tissue that was almost wafting in the air. Nice stuff. And then our seats. Oh my God, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Well, you just there's like the seat is set so far back from the aisle. There's almost like another seat that you could sit down. You come in from the aisle. There's like a bench that you could chill on, and then your seat, which is your bed and
That's
has the
sick.
under thing.
Multiple seating areas.
Huge TV screen, and then there's 2 seats that ironically face backwards.
Wow.
So we were facing against the direction of the airplane, but those 2, it's every other row in the middle, are together and have a divider which you can push down and then recline your seats to create a queen bed together. Wow. Which we had.
Oh my God.
So we could like cuddle.
You could theoretically Mile High Club.
We could, except the doors to your Q Suite do not go to the ceiling. They
Got it.
come to about nose level.
There's a little bit of
So
interesting.
the flight attendants can peer in, probably for that reason. They don't want you
You don't want you
smoking or
fucking
piping,
smoking each other, dude.
smoking and piping, piping and smoking. Yeah.
That's badass.
But you easily probably could have thrown a little blanket over
Yeah,
yourselves
dude.
and done a little push in the
Fuck
bush.
yeah, dude.
Yeah. I watched Dune for the 4th time.
Nice.
Love that movie so much. I had a Cocker Spaniel.
Hell yeah.
We had some champagne.
Did you take any Xanax?
I did.
Nice.
I ate-
How much do you take?
0.25 milligrams. Nothing.
That's like a quarter of a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like half a bar won't even put me down.
Huh.
I've been experimenting. I think I'm gonna try taking more.
I bet Xanax makes me nervous.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so keep going.
The dinner, they do a meze platter of different hummus selections.
Lovely.
They had this beet hummus with warm focaccia rolls.
Yum.
Buddy, game
Yeah,
over.
Yum.
I mean,
Delicious meal.
for a guy who doesn't eat bread, my honeymoon might as well have been bread. It was just a bread tour.
Yeah.
I opened the bread floodgates.
You know Ryan loves bread.
You don't
Do
eat
you
bread
love
at all?
bread?
I make
all.
focaccia, but that's it.
You
I'll make
you
some for you if you
focaccia?
want some time. Yeah, I'll bring it in.
I'd love
Ooh.
for you.
I'll bring it in.
I'd love for you to bake some focaccia
I
for
will.
us, Ryan.
I will.
I love
Continue.
some. I would like some focaccia.
Lovely.
I'm not a big bread guy.
Yeah.
I just consider it an evil.
Yeah, it's just like no, because it probably contributes to your lean physique.
Well, and also when I go to a restaurant, it's like it puts such a damper on your appetite.
Yeah.
I want the food that I'm ordering, the good stuff. I
Yeah.
want to be hungry for it.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I've learned that over time.
Yeah.
Another problem is too that when I have one roll, I want
roll,
more.
Yeah, it's like Pringles.
yeah. But some buttered bread. Oh my god, dude.
No joke, bro.
So had the meze platter. Then they had a spicy lobster roll on the small plates menu. And by the way, they immediately tell you when you get on board, food anytime.
Wow.
Anytime throughout the flight,
Wow.
you can order anything from any menu. Breakfast
sick.
menu, dinner menu. And so immediately I was like, you're gonna regret that policy. I'm gonna abuse the hell out of that. So I ordered like an appetizer, an entree, and a lobster roll.
Wow, badass.
And she looked at me and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "You fucking heard me.
What?
You heard me. I wanted it all. You told me I could have it all." So I had all that, ate it, most of it, 95% of it. And then for dessert, I can't even remember. They had some delicious creme brulee bullshit, something like that. And then I passed out and slept somewhat fitfully because there was that gentle but never-ending turbulence.
Yeah. Was there ever any bad turbulence?
No.
Yeah.
But it just never
Yeah.
stopped shaking you a little bit the whole time.
Yeah.
But, next thing you know, there's only 3 hours left in the flight.
okay, so you got like 5 in.
I think I got like 8.
Wow.
Jesus.
I think I got 8.
That's
but
phenomenal. It's what, 13 hours?
it's
14
12
hours?
and a half to Doha. Got to Doha, 1 hour layover, easy.
Nice airport.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it.
No.
Our gate that we were leaving from was very close to the one we arrived at. So we walked over, got on that flight. Now for this flight, our seats were not together. We had both had window seats, one and then one behind it. To have my own was another treat unto itself.
Wow.
Because this time to have
How long
your
is this flight?
5.5 to Kenya,
Nice.
to have that just my own room
Oh my
to
God.
myself. Oh, you
Dude.
feel like you're the president.
That's sick.
It was
dude.
Air Force One.
That's sick.
It was awesome.
That's phenomenal.
Can't speak highly enough of it. Loved it. So many more hot towels.
Qatar for the win.
Yeah, really good. Got to Kenya. Kenya was amazing. The Masai Mara.
What? So okay, like Nairobi, what's it like? Is it poppin'?
It is
Nice.
busy. It's smoggy, industrial. I don't know.
But there's like some-
didn't
there's
get to
some-
know it much. We stayed at an airport hotel, and then the next morning, we got out, went to a smaller airport. We drove through some of Kenya,
Cool.
and we flew out to the bush
Sick.
on an hour and 20-minute flight. Kenya, let me tell you something. We got to that airport, small airport. It's called Wilson Airport, and it's
The other airport.
yeah, it's the local airport that's going to fly you to safari destinations or various places around Kenya, I guess. Mostly prop planes. you're in this waiting room, and it's all white Westerners wearing exactly the same shit.
You're wearing like safari gear.
It's the sort
Nigel
of
Thornberry.
canvas green, light, washable, foldable shirt
Yeah.
from REI.
Yeah.
You know, it
Cargo
is
short.
pants that zip off into shorts.
Yeah.
All from that really thin material
Yeah.
that's like it's the most unflattering clothing imaginable. And it's a lot of old, some overweight British couples,
Yeah.
Australians, tons of Americans.
Cool.
And you're like, oh, is this who we are? Are we them?
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
You think you're doing something like that no one else is doing, and then you see 10 of you.
You've come so far.
I know. What a fucking
You've come so
journey.
far, and then to hear everyone be like, did you bring the malaria medicine? Todd, did you take your malaria pills?
Did you have any side effects?
No,
No.
not really.
I didn't either,
I was totally
thankfully.
fine.
Yeah.
But there were a ton of mosquitoes
Did you continue taking them when you got back?
the whole time.
Yeah.
I followed through.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fuck with it.
Yeah. So no.
But we, we
To clarify that, you're supposed to take your malaria medication for a week after you get home.
yeah.
Sorry. Keep going.
No, it's okay. So we, I don't know. That bugged me. Was hearing all Americans. I did not like running into Americans.
Yeah.
In
I agree. It's a buzzkill.
in Kenya, especially in Rwanda, because in Rwanda, we thought we had found something really unique. We were doing something truly unique, which we were.
You were.
And you fly to Kigali, and then you take. Then we were in Kigali for the night. Because when we booked the trip originally, you had to quarantine for a night before you went to see the
God.
gorillas. They don't let
Oh,
you
'cause of
go
COVID,
see the
because you
gorillas
don't wanna get the
until you
gorillas
get
COVID.
a COVID
Yeah.
test.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And so that afternoon we went to the genocide memorial.
It's just powerful, right? Really fucking tough
Really tough.
to get through.
I had a hard time. There's a children's room
Yeah.
that I had to walk out of.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't finish the video at the end.
I couldn't do the children's room. They have this like, it's a smiling photo, a profile of a child, and it's like, so and so, the name, and then it's like 9 years old, birthday, this favorite
color.
thing,
Yeah, dude.
and it's like favorite thing, turtles and milk,
giving me the chills.
and then it's like killed, machete to the head.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what
the
the
fuck?
fuck? What am I doing in here?
Yeah, it's but it's like, important those things.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they have a like a crisis counseling room in there for people that
Oh, interesting.
they have like a counselor on hand. A lot of family members that lost family members go to the memorial frequently
Yeah.
because a
Keep it
lot
all
of the victims
emotional.
are buried there.
Yeah, that little thing, the little graveyard outside.
And so you're walking the tour, you're doing the tour with people who lost loved ones.
And it happened in our lifetime too, which is crazy. The other
It's
thing,
really recent.
the genocide memorial room of all the genocides of the 20th century, I found to be interesting, especially because like some of those just like weren't really on my radar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, like this shit
Totally. I know
happened still. It happened then, and I don't even know about it.
Yeah, the ethnic Serbs one.
Yeah, that one was on there.
Cambodia was there.
The Armenia one.
Yep.
Crazy, man. Obviously, the Holocaust.
There was a moment that almost went wrong.
When you were there?
So you go outside, you're doing this walking audio tour. We've got these earpieces in, and each site has a different number, and you press the number, and then you hear the explanation. This solemn British narrator. And there's this garden area that's been planted, and it's very symbolic, and there's 4 different levels of it. And each level, the first level is meant to be the unity period before colonization, and then there's like the colonization period of Belgium and France, and then it's like this part. and then you get to the Garden of Separation or something like that, and there's 4 benches around, and I'm 10 to 15 seconds ahead of Sierra in the narrator, and he gets this thing and he's like, "This is the Garden of Separation. Take a seat on one of the 4 benches and sit alone to experience the feeling of separation meant to be symbolized by the 4 benches." So I sit down on the bench. 5 seconds later, Sierra comes and sits on the bench with me. And I'm like, she's not there yet. And sure enough, 3 seconds later, she goes, "Oh," and stands up. And we started laughing.
Oh my God.
And we're surrounded by people
Oh, no.
who are like, no one's talking.
Oh God.
And we're like, no, we cannot fucking laugh. No one will know why we're laughing.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is not a place of laughter.
That's
But it
funny.
was like so funny because I knew exactly what was about to happen. I knew exactly what had happened once she stood up and was like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
Yeah.
And then we're like, no, we gotta fucking swallow this.
Yeah.
And sometimes not being able to laugh when you want to laugh makes it even harder. You know?
Yes, very much so. What made you guys go there?
All right, we had a guy pick us up at the airport, who was our driver and our guide, and we didn't know at that time. We thought he was just gonna bring us to the hotel, you know, and then the next day we would have someone take us out to the gorilla area. We didn't read our itinerary that close.
Yeah,
Like this was
yeah.
like 15 pages.
Yeah.
But that also had like background of the country
Mm-hmm.
and all this, and 3 pages of lists of things to bring. But as it turned out, he would be with us for the next 4 days.
Oh wow.
He drove us out into the country and then would pick us up in the morning to drive us to the gorilla area, pick us up at the end of that to bring us back to the hotel, and was truly one of the most important and wonderful people we met on our entire trip.
Yeah.
His name was Bridge. Speaks Kinyarwanda. He speaks Swahili, speaks French, and speaks English. And I would speak French with him. It was really fun. He picked us up from the airport. We started asking him about the genocide memorial, if that was something, and quickly find out his sister, his little sister, his dad, and his brother were killed
Jesus.
in the genocide in
Jesus.
Kigali. He and his mother escaped by finding sanctuary in the Hotel Rwanda.
Wow. The Radisson Blue, right?
Yes. Is it it's like, I don't think that's what it might have been that then. It's a different ownership now.
Okay.
It's not called Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, I know that.
And I asked him what he thought of the movie, and they don't like the movie over there.
Interesting.
Because 1, it was filmed in fucking South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
2, a lot of it like sensationalizes the heroism of the Don Cheadle character.
Who's in jail now? By the
Yeah,
way.
that guy turns out not to be a great guy.
Oh, I think it was a political thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he said that he doesn't deserve as much credit as he got.
Got it.
And like they just got a lot of the things wrong. But he was like, yeah, I was there for a week.
That's crazy.
And they cut the Hutus cut our water supply into the hotel, and so they were drinking from the swimming pool
Oh my God.
out back.
Whoa.
And I said, well, why didn't they come in and get everyone? And it was because somehow the army had captured, I think, the children of the like Hutu military leader.
Oh, wow.
And they knew that a lot of important like political Tutsis and sort of refugees and things were hiding at the hotel. And they said to the Hutu militia, if you go in and kill those people, we're going to kill your children.
Jesus, dude.
And so there was this standoff there.
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, they're so open about talking about
Yeah.
it, and they want to educate,
Yeah.
and they want to share, and they have forgiven on a level that is
It's pretty impressive.
beyond
I know.
belief.
I remember thinking
I mean,
that.
I can't forgive people that have like said mean shit to me on Twitter 2 years ago, and they've forgiven people who
Yeah.
murdered the rest of their family.
pretty incredible like reconciliation overhaul.
Yeah.
And the way everybody encourages everybody to go to the museum, which is why I asked. I was curious if like he was the one
He did,
urging you.
and was
Yeah.
really glad that we were willing to do it.
Yeah.
And brought us there, and then drove with us, and we just talked to him. I talked to him about his country. He's so proud of Rwanda and how far it's come. They're so proud of
They really have their shit together over there.
They do,
Yeah.
and they are very eager to tell you that.
Yeah.
To the degree that on that one night we were in Kigali, we were like, can we go out to a bar? And he was like, of course.
Yeah.
The two of you can walk down the street. You'll be totally
Yeah,
fine, totally
yeah, yeah.
safe. And then we got back to the hotel and asked another guy that we'd kind of become friends with who actually met us at the bar for a drink.
Sick.
We were like, yeah, can we do that? And he was like,
Interesting.
maybe.
Interesting.
And what you learn is that there is such an eagerness to rehabilitate the image of Rwanda and correct, from this horrific horror that they experienced, that there's a little bit of propaganda kind of disconnect from maybe. I think the image they're putting out is probably a few years ahead of where they
Interesting.
actually are.
And my perception of that is that the ruling party, while enlightened, have, potentially abused,
100%.
and you're sort of like not allowed to talk bad about,
Nope.
you know what I mean? So that's never good.
That's exactly right.
That's the main thing
They
for me.
speak in the most glowing terms about their president,
Yeah.
who, for all accounts, has done a world-class,
Incredible.
Nelson Mandela almost
Absolutely.
level job of bringing the country together.
He's
Totally
a war hero too.
Yeah, tearing down these ethnic identities and turning it into "We are one Rwanda." Nobody talks about Hutu and Tutsi anymore.
Yeah.
Even to ask someone, "Are you Hutu or
Yeah.
Tutsi?"
They get
is
mad.
offensive.
Yeah.
And they say, if you're going to ask that, ask me what my father or my mother was, because they were assigned these identities.
They're like, we're Rwandan.
Yeah. And so they speak. They're like, yeah, the president. He's amazing. We love him. And then you start doing a little bit of digging, and he's been president for 19 years. He's about to win another term.
He'll get 99% of the
Yeah,
vote.
and a lot of his sort of political dissidents
They're in
and
jail.
critics have been found dead in hotel rooms in neighboring countries: Uganda, Mozambique, South Africa, and you're like, But I spoke to at our next place in Rwanda. There we became very close friends with this awesome couple there. Who the guy was very informed on African history and culture and stuff, and he was like, with that said, this was a country that was so steeped in bloodshed and violence, and all transitions of power were the result of violent coups, that to assume there would just be this light switch flick into perfect democracy is absurd. And if this
true.
president has achieved what he has by murdering 15, 20, 30 people that, tried to take his rule, that's the way that's a far cry from how things are. Maybe it's the only way that this could have happened. So I think people probably know and accept it and are fine with it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. But I did remember feeling like it was pretty fucking safe.
Yeah,
And, like,
same.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say that the vehicles, because there's a ton of traffic and it's crowded,
Yeah.
they spew fucking exhaust, dark exhaust, on a level where you cannot ride around the city with your windows down.
Yeah.
I was getting headaches.
Yeah.
It was bad. But we drove the next morning out.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the safari too.
I know I skipped that.
You completely skipped it.
I'm sorry.
We can bounce around.
We're going to get into the safari stuff. Lots more to talk about. Animals, honeymoon, all of that. Keeping you up to speed on our lives as well in the next episode. We have to hear about...
And dude, also, I want to throw this in here because it's funny, but dude, I've started a school in Afghanistan. I started and
Christ.
have funded with some of the help from none other than Ping Pong Brian.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I raised a little bit of money and ended up like using it towards starting a school.
Well, for fuck's sake.
I know.
Can we get involved?
Yeah, and we'll talk more about how. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Julio's
Lots of
whole
good stuff.
Afghanistan trip coming up. We have not seen each other in a month. We have so much to catch up
Lot
on.
of good
We're
stuff.
trying to do it in as expeditious a manner as possible. But boy, you know us. We like to take our time telling stories. So that's Oops the Podcast for today. We'll be back next week.
Oh, we
with-
got some facts with Ryan.
Oh, we got facts
Real
with
quick.
Ryan. Sorry.
All right. Bodyguard. National average cost for a bodyguard is $20 to $30 per hour. Surprising.
That's not bad.
That's just general search.
That's good.
Fox News, most watched cable news network.
Bingo.
Wilson Airport opened in 1929.
Nice.
Oh.
And speaking of towel warmers, the Beauty Pro hot towel warmer is $57.90 on Amazon. It could be a good fresh way to start off an episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
nice.
Hot
Warm
towels.
wash.
Hot
Could
towels.
be quite nice.
Could be nice.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
Ryan. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got? Francis?
Not too much coming up. As things do, I will let everyone know. But for now, I don't have too much on the schedule.
Cool. I'm a Wise Guys in West Jordan, Utah, 14th, 15th of October. Evening Muse, Charlotte, North Carolina, October 20th. Blind Pig, Ann Arbor, Michigan, November 12th.